Welcome to the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I'm Nicole Eaton, author of the books Rock Your Soul and Rock Your Comeback, as well as an intuitive therapist, and I'm here to remind you of your power. This podcast focuses on mindset and inviting the universe in to create a life that feels so good, so aligned, and so authentic. I hope you're ready. Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Eaton, and it's a new year. It's a new year, and we are vibing and thriving, and I'm excited for everything I get to bring you this year. I know I have a ton of stuff going on over in my membership, the Comeback Club, but my big excitement this week is the events. I have an event coming up on Saturday, January 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Stead at Farmington in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's called the Bestie Yet event. So I'm going to sit down with Casey Johnson of the Ladies Lifestyle Network and Charisse Holiday from the LookLove Babes, who's on today's podcast, and have the most fun, enlightening, inspiring conversation about how to make this year a really, really, really good one. So if you like being absorbed in really positive energy, if you need some tools and just some, advice to get into a better energy for the new year, we've got you covered. And your ticket includes beer, wine, and charcuterie from Babe and Butcher, which is one of the best spots to get charcuterie in the area. So again, if you want to come, it's $20. And actually, if you're listening to this podcast, if you use the code BESTYEAR, all caps, it will get you $5 off your ticket. So $15, 2 hours to hang, to have fun, to laugh, to grab drinks and snacks. It's going to be a blast. And Bonded Charlotte is joining us for permanent jewelry, and QC Hydrate is going to be doing IV infusions there to get you just feeling like your best and looking like your best. So we're super excited for that. And you can get your tickets in the bio. So again, if you use the code BESTYEAR, all capitals, it will get you $5 off your ticket for including the 2-hour event and then beer, wine, and charcuterie. That's absolutely insane. I still can't believe we're able to offer that. So super exciting. Oh, and I've got a retreat this year. This is my first year doing a retreat. I'm so excited. I'm teaming up with Christy Forsyth, my partner from New York, and we're going to create a quantum glow up retreat. So February 23rd through the 26th in Orlando, Florida. If you are just fucking sick of your own shit, if you're sick of your bullshit and you are ready to step into a version of you that you like and you love and you feel light and you feel free and you feel powerful in your own life, this is the event for you. I mean, in 3 days, we are going to transform your life and your energy and your mindset. And I think that's what makes this different. Somebody asked us, how is this different than just going to an event or a conference? We're addressing your change at an energetic level, which is a lot of times what blocks people. Like, I know what I want, but I can't do it. So this retreat is going to be incredible, so much fun. We're going to do some work, but we're also going to have a great time doing it. And we're going to show you how powerful you are at creating a life that feels really fucking delicious and good for you. So join us for the Quantum Glow Up Retreat. And today on the podcast, now that I've got that spiel out of the way, is the LookLove Babes, Sabrina Simpson and Charisse Holiday. They're the founders of LookLove Beauty. They're the hosts of the LookLove Babes podcast and creator of the LookLove Boutique shop. And I had the most fun chatting with them today. We talk about what it's like to be in a multi-passionate entrepreneur, what that looks like when you just have a passion for things. How do you actually make your dreams happen in your life? And what it's like to build a business with your bestie, finding authenticity. There's a million topics that we cover, and you're going to love them all. So let us know what you think. You can always support this podcast by subscribing, by sharing it, and by tagging some friends that are leaving a review. We always want to know what you think, so thanks for listening in advance. Perfect. Welcome back to the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I'm Nicole Eaton, and I'm here with the LookLove Babes, who caught my eye. They're local to Charlotte, and I followed you guys on Instagram, and I'm like, this is the most fun I've ever had on Instagram. And I think what it was is I was watching one of you dress up as Taylor Swift. And I'm like a full diehard Swiftie. So I was like, yes, I need to connect with you and meet you. And I'm luckily able to do a event coming up in Charlotte on the 13th of January with Charisse. But I have both of them here today. I have Sabrina and Charisse, I'm sorry, from the LookLove Babes. And I'm really excited for you guys to be here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
What an introduction.
That's such a compliment because all we want is for people to have fun when they go to our Instagram. So that's the best thing you possibly could have said.
And there was also a Mary Kate and Ashley reference on the Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes. We somehow, when we started our business, Halloween just really took off for us. So we just like to have a good old time. And we think of like 3 to 4 costumes and we're like, let's just have fun and do this.
It's perfect. And the thing is the content you guys talk about both on your podcast, on your Instagram, is just so relatable, especially for like, I'm 36, so I don't know your age range, but like, I'm like, this speaks to my person, to my soul. So if you want to have fun, make sure to go check them out. Is the handle LookLove Babes?
Sure is.
Perfect. So I'll put all the show details, but I would love to hear a little bit of the backstory because I jumped in the last couple of months to connect with you guys. So here's what I know is that I know you guys own a beauty and makeup. Is it for bridal?
We mostly do bridal. I would say that's like the core of the business, but we do hair and makeup for just about anything and spray tans.
I'll come to you. This is my winter look, so I'm going to need you soon. But also in the last couple of months, I've watched you launch a podcast and most recently do create an online shopping boutique. And I have to know, like, did you just say, hey, we want to do this and go for it? What's the story here?
This has definitely been like the last 6 months. I feel like we just basically were like, if these are things we want to do, then we just have to freaking do them. And like, there's no, the podcast we had been working on since probably last March, I think it was. And then we launched that in September. We just kind of batched a couple of episodes and then we just went straight into it, launching in September. And success off of that it kind of exceeded our expectations. So I don't know. I feel like for us, we were just like, well, then we can just do anything we want. Let's just go for it. And we have always been passionate about clothing and we're looking to kind of diversify our incomes and create something that's a little more passive because currently right now in our bridal hair and makeup jobs, we make money by physically being there. And so within that realm, we wanted to also diversify our income and make money without having to physically be somewhere. So we've always been passionate about clothing and we just said, you know what, let's see if people enjoy our style as much as they say they do in real life. And we went for it. So here we are.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story because I think a lot of people get ideas and then have a really hard time getting past that, like, how am I going to put it into action? And what would you suggest for somebody in that space who's got the idea, who wants to maybe stop trading their time for money?
So I feel like a lot of it is we have each other, which is so nice. And we definitely do not take it for granted because a lot of people are like, they feel like they're on a lonely island by themselves with no one to ask questions to. And Charisse and I are kind of like opposite in certain senses and then very similar in certain ways. And I feel like anytime I just love being able to bounce an idea off of someone. So I feel like outsourcing to people you trust, someone who is successful in this space, reaching out to them. We totally just went for it. We're like, we're going to start really small, learn from our little holiday capsule collection, which we've learned so much.
It's been very overwhelming amount of learning, which has been like cool because you reach a certain point when it's like, we have done hair and makeup for now. I think I'm on my 11th year. She's on her 12th. So once you reach a certain point, it's kind of like, you're just like in autopilot, you know? So with the clothing boutique, it's been cool because we're like using our brain again and in a totally new and different way. But
it's easy to start coasting once you become an expert at your craft, which I would consider us both experts at hair and makeup at this time. So we've loved getting into the e-commerce space. It's just been a really fun challenge for both of us. And, you know, we're smart girlies. We need to use our brains again.
I think to answer like very specifically to your question, if there's something that you're not aware of, that you're wanting to learn about or launch or do something, you're passionate about it, like just do it and figure it out as you go.
There's literally so many ways to learn now between even TikTok. Like we've learned there's just so much knowledge out there that's available, like YouTube. And so if someone really wants to do something, like the knowledge is there, you just got to go research and go for it.
I like the idea of just, I have this like core belief that everything's figure outable. My master's is in mental health, but I've like started a podcast and built a web page and like all these things that still feel at times super fucking overwhelming to me.
Yes.
The thing is if you sit down, I was looking the other day, I was like, it would be kind of fun to play around with an Etsy shop. And so I'm like TikToking Etsy shop stuff.
Yeah.
I have this, and it sounds like you guys have like this multi-passionate existence as well.
It literally never ends. I don't even want to know where we're going to be in 5 years because I guarantee you it's somewhere else.
She has a list of jobs she wants to do when she retires. And I don't even know what it consists of. Florist, Starbucks worker,
barista. There was what did I add? I want to own an ice cream shop. There was something I added the other day. I was like, I got to add that to my list. Now I can't remember. There's so many things, but yes, I completely agree with you.
So wait, why are you waiting till you retire for those?
Because they're more like, they're not wealth building jobs, I would say.
That's
they're more like hobby. Like floristry, I think you can I know a ton of girlfriends of mine have built significant wealth off of it. It would be something that I would want to do like just for funsies. You know what I mean?
I think we both like to learn and like continue to always learn. I feel like that's just the key to life. And so just challenging yourself in these smaller jobs when you're in your retirement.
Yeah, just like to keep your mind going, like I don't want to go, make 6 figures off of managing a Starbucks, which you can absolutely definitely do. Mm-hmm. That's not like a passion project of mine. For me, I just want to know how they run their business just because I'm curious,
I love it. I actually, on TikTok, I think it was like last night, I was scrolling through TikTok and they had this, it was like a bicycle ice cream truck and they did like events. So they would go to like a wedding and they would ride this bicycle in and it had like a traditional ice cream truck and they would, hand out the ice cream.
Cute. So cute.
I know. And I was like, that sounds like fun. I'm also somebody who's like, I have all these ideas and I was about to create a coffee shop like a year ago. And then COVID happened. I was like, no, but brick and mortar is not for me right now.
I know.
I just have this like draw towards things. So I get that entirely. But I think it's exciting because I'm like big on intuition. And I truly feel like some of these ideas that we get are kind of placed in our laps as our path. And some of them, like timing wise, are now and are to explore and to play with now. And some of them aren't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like with the boutique, we were kind of like, it's going to be now or it's going to be 6 months from now. There's really no difference. So just go for it, And so we did.
Yeah. We started off very small. We didn't want to like bite off more than we could chew. And I feel like it was
perfect. Yeah.
Truly perfect.
Yeah.
And the clothes are so cute. Guys, I'm putting the link to that online boutique in the show notes and they're so cute.
We love them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to refrain from buying everything because holiday budgets, but but they're amazing. And I'm going to link them. Gosh, it does hit this time of year, doesn't it?
It really does.
Right before you called, I was literally like, oh my gosh, I have this person to buy for. And I was like clicking buy now, like gotta get off and start the podcast.
My credit card basically just lit on fire yesterday. But I'm I'm done. I was like,
oh my God,
this thing it's smoking within my wallet. And I shopped online. So,
I used to be one of those people who would wait until the week of to get everything. I don't even know what was wrong with me, but now I'm like November. I have most things done by November and just like a random few like niece and nephews or whatever to get for.
Wow.
But I swear. So I was listening to your podcast and one of you is from New York.
Me.
Yes. Okay. I was looking for a fellow New Yorker. Are you from where in New York are you from?
So I lived in Manhattan for about just under 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you from there originally or?
No. So I'm originally from LA. And then I was Northern Virginia, and then I went to college in New York City and stayed. And after I graduated, and then I moved to Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're from all over, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Sabrina, where are you from?
I'm actually born and raised in Charlotte. So
Oh, you're an original.
Charlottean. I know. I love to travel, but I've never left Charlotte my entire life.
I don't blame you. I love it here. This is like,
I love it here.
I moved from New York 5 or 6 years ago. Well, 5 years
Okay.
ago. And I just couldn't envision living anywhere else at this point. I just love it.
Everyone says that. And I feel like I'm really lucky that I've been able to watch it grow. And it's become a city that I love to live in as an adult. So I just got lucky that way.
Yeah. It's definitely, when we moved here about 9 years ago, and everything's clean. It's easy. There's no traffic, even though people think there's traffic. It's so cheap. The cost of living is, I mean, obviously comparatively speaking, but it is, I love it here so much.
So how did you guys meet?
So we actually worked for another bridal hair and makeup company, like 10 years ago. And I started 12 years ago. Charisse started 8 years ago.
Yeah.
We left 5 years ago. We became friends while we were working at this company. And we were like, our style's really similar. Let's do this thing together. Like a lot of our business ideas aligned, and it was just like the right timing. And so we launched the bridal hair and makeup part of our business August 2018.
19. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. The older I get, time is like a blur.
Yeah. It doesn't even exist.
Exactly. So yeah, we worked for that company for a little while together and just slowly became friends over the course of that time.
That's amazing. What is it like? Because you guys, I mean, it appears like you're best friends now.
Oh, we are.
We are.
Very much so.
Very much.
But it didn't start that way. So I feel like a lot of our success is due to the fact that we were not friends to begin with. We didn't know anything about like our past or anything like that, but we had a really strong, what's the word I'm looking for?
Our work ethic was like what attracted each other to the other one. Is that the right way to say that? When we were working together, we were just coworkers. We weren't we were friends and acquaintances, but we weren't besties like we are now. Exactly. But I loved the way that she worked and vice versa. And we did really well in that avenue. And so I feel like we started becoming like a little bit closer.
Yeah, we used to never hang out. Like after work, it was like we would never see each other. And then we went to a concert together and we're like, oh, actually, like she's fun. She could be a friend of mine kind of thing. And then, just slowly grew from there. But we just have a really strong respect for each other. And I think that's why we're successful.
Mm-hmm. What is like the hardest part about starting a business with your bestie?
We did everything the right way from the beginning. Mm-hmm. We hired a lawyer. They asked us the hard questions, like what happens if this person wants to leave? What happens if you guys have a big blow up fight? Like how are you going to split your business? And I think having those conversations early on was really helpful.
Yeah.
So I would say
we walked in with like the same amount. So I think a lot of people say like do 51-49. I don't necessarily agree with that just because I know personally for either one of us, if somebody else had more ownership than the other, it would feel off balance from day one.
Exactly.
So, but obviously every relationship and dynamic is different. So for us, it really worked out that we did 50-50. Our roles and responsibilities within, at the time, we just had LookLove Beauty. They kind of like dispersed out naturally. There wasn't like, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this.
Yeah, we never had clear cut roles for each other, which is interesting. I feel like a lot of times we were interviewing someone else and they were like, we did have clear cut roles from the beginning. Charisse and I were like, we can't relate because we just kind of did what like naturally came easier to each one of us. But yeah, I think from the beginning we had those hard conversations that like typically you don't want to have, but you have to. They're very much necessary.
They're and just like being honest and like
there's no gray area. It's like black and white. That's the way it's going to be run. And
what is the best part about owning a business with your bestie.
Everything kind of bleeds together.
Yeah.
Now. Like you go out, we get martinis, it turns into a TikTok or a reel. We're like,
Yeah.
it's fun in that way. And
It never there are things that feel like work, don't get me wrong, but I would say 90 to 95% of the time we're just living life.
Yeah, we'll hear from clients or even like our significant others about what their day-to-day looks like, and Charisse and I are like, it doesn't feel that way to us. You know, it really every day does not feel like work. I really can't relate to someone who wakes up in the morning and they're like, I have to go into the office and get dressed. Like we can wear whatever the heck we want to wear.
Yep.
If we want to be cozy today, we're going to be cozy. And it's always a party, honestly.
Yeah. it's 99% of the time, it's always a good day.
Absolutely.
We have bad days, but they're probably so much more noticeable because they're so few and far between.
Very true.
It's funny because I flew on a corporate jet the other day, and
fun.
I know it's like one of these wild manifestations that I've created that I can use at any time. That's not a flex, but I'm getting to the point. But
that's so nice, though.
It's the best. I'm so grateful for it. But it is a corporate aircraft, and everybody is like high-end corporate.
Yeah.
And there is nothing like stepping foot on that jet and me being like, wow, I would never fit into this world at this point in my career. Like I've been a business owner for like 6-7 years now. And so I just can't even imagine like the types of conversations they're having and the way they're dressed. And I mean, I always have to scramble. Oh, it is. It's almost like a little bit of like this inauthenticity too, of like everyone has to put on like a front or.
Oh yeah.
I totally agree.
My husband used to work for this terrible marketing firm, and they had some meet and greet. I don't know, some like corporate something. And like I don't even know what to wear to something like that. So I was like, well, I'm going to be meeting these people for the first time. I'm going to go and I'm just going to be me and I'm going to look nice and whatever. I can't tell you how much I stuck out like a sore thumb. It was out of control. Oh
Why?
Yeah. Because I'm wearing this like hot pink, which like when you look back, like maybe I shouldn't have worn hot pink, but then I'm like, no, but that is who I am. You know what I mean? And then I'm standing there having these conversations about just boring. Oh my God. And we were standing there and I get in the car and I was like, that's just never going to be me. Yeah. That's just never going to be it, you know?
Not a corporate girly.
No.
So last time I got on this jet, I wore this like royal blue fur coat, like
good for you.
And I was like, I stepped on, I'm like, this was the wrong choice. Like this was
right. Like, but it wasn't.
But I was so damn excited about that coat. Yeah. That was bringing me to life. And there was no way I was going to wear anything else. But I think it's just a good reminder that there's jobs and roles and careers that can feel really good and really in alignment. And for anybody listening who is maybe on the edge of wanting to try something or feeling your soul call you to something new, like this conversation is such a reminder that can totally fucking work out for you.
Yes, absolutely. 1000%.
Was there ever a time where you guys weren't in kind of the area or career you wanted to be?
No, honestly,
That's amazing.
I started doing hair in college as a part-time gig. And then I remember, so it was my senior year of college and I was going to my first interview for a corporate communications job. I was on the way there dressed in like my corporate outfit and it just felt so wrong. And I remember calling and canceling. I was like, I'm sorry, not going to make it. I'm going to make hair and makeup work and be my full-time job because I just can't go into an office. And it was right then and there. I was like, I'm making it work. And I did. I just went for it. And Charisse went to makeup school.
Yeah, I've definitely had, we've both worked in retail. I managed a salon. That was probably like as corporate as it got, but it was still very fun. It was probably the best job I've ever had, that in terms of like what it taught me and stuff. But
But we both come from families that own their own businesses.
Yeah.
And that was just always, we knew that that was going to be the path for us, I think.
Yeah.
No regrets. No regrets.
Yeah.
I love it because I think there's just, I don't know, there's a lot of people who don't have that as a model and maybe feel like they have to go certain directions in their career, and then they get there and they're like, this isn't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things that I'm like obsessed with you guys about is just the authenticity. It's just, there's this book that talks about how authenticity is like the highest rated in frequency. So it's the most wide out from your aura that other people can feel, like when you're really authentic, when you're really full of yourself. And I just, even wearing like your hot pink dress to your corporate, yeah, I know, seriously though, it does, it just radiates off of you, and that's like a really
that's honestly like the best compliment we
that
can
is
receive.
the best compliment.
Truly.
Because like I believe if you're being your authentic self, that just like bleeds into being confident.
Yeah.
And if you're confident, I think you can literally do fucking anything with your, can we cuss on this?
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was
Okay. I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, bitch, start over. Okay.
You're not on live TV.
Well, I know. But on ours, I'm like every other word is fuck. So
I know
just
we have to
wanna make
always
sure.
click explicit on our podcast.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me.
But I feel like that's like, if you are confident, you can truly do anything.
Yeah.
You can make a business out of anything. Like this day and age, like the options are truly limitless. So
True. Confidence is key.
that is a very nice compliment. I very much appreciate
Yes,
that.
thank you.
Of course. Well, I mean, it's true. And even talking about just you and you guys radiating authenticity and then watching everything you're doing, I mean, it is bleeding into everything you're doing, and it is giving you the confidence to do that. And so I'm curious, like, if you had any advice for somebody who was feeling insecure in their skin or less confident or having a harder time connecting with their authenticity, like what advice would you give them?
Oh, that's a tough question. I try to live every day really positively. I'm realistic, but I definitely just try to be really positive, and I feel like that's kind of what gives me confidence, but I'm trying to.
You are Sabrina, I always say, is like having a little ray of sunshine in your back pocket.
So nice.
But it is. Her whole life, you've been that way.
I'm trying, like, what makes you confident?
For me, there are times where I am not confident at all, or I'm questioning something or whatever.
You're faking it till you make it.
I'm faking it till I make it. But for me, what has really helped with that specifically is I have to get really micro with it and like get down to whatever the deep rooted issue is. So I ask myself, like, what's bothering you in this moment? Like, what's truly, truly it? And then when I get to that answer, I say, okay, so what can you do to fix that? And then when I get to that answer, I say, okay, so why aren't you doing it? And then by then I'm usually like, okay, great. And then truly all it is it changes my perspective, and it allows me to just go balls to the wall, fake it till I make it.
So I think like tangible answers is Charisse is really honest with herself.
I'm very honest with myself. Yeah, that's a good package of saying that.
I think that we both really take the time to do things for ourselves. We both are huge workout connoisseurs. We do that for ourselves every single day. It's what makes us feel good.
And that's like, we're very open and honest and authentic. We like the way we look. I want to be like very clear that my main motivator is I'm very vain. So like the way I look is very, it brings me confidence. So I work out for that. However, once you get to a point, you also feel really damn good, like physically. Yeah. And that's just like a really big bonus. Yeah, I would say. And obviously it helps your mental health more than I think pretty much anything on this planet. If you move your body and get outside, see the sun kind of thing. So
we take care of ourselves first. Like eat healthy, work out every day, like do those things that make us feel good every day. And then I feel like you're able to, fill someone else's cup when you feel good. So hopefully that was a tangible enough answer. I hate it when people give blanket answers and they're like, I don't really know what that meant.
You're like, see the good in life. It's like, well, yeah, obviously, but I think being honest with yourself and getting down to the root of the issue, whatever it is in that specific moment. And I get really micro with it. And then take care of yourself before you can take care of others. What is it in the airplane? Put your mask on yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's true. That's so fucking stupid, but it's so true.
I love that advice. And I think even sometimes I used to do traditional mental health counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And you can physically tell when someone's not feeling mentally well because they're disheveled. Absolutely. I mean, we had a whole intake process for mental health counseling within physical appearance that we would check off when we were, chatting with somebody. So it really does fucking matter to put yourself together. And it really does matter to do whatever those things are, whether it's working out so you love the body you're in or you just feel lighter or whatever the case might be. Mm-hmm. But I think that is, we do talk a lot about the spirit and the soul and the mind, but the body is also just really, really important for our wellness. So I'm really glad that you guys said that. What's next for the LookLove Babes? What's the goal?
Question.
Yeah.
We have endless goals. They just keep on growing.
Yeah.
I think for me, and you, I'm not going to speak for myself. We both want to see the boutique grow. Yep. We're just getting started. We're learning so much every day about who our customer is, what they like to shop for, what their price point is. And we really want to listen to our following and give them what they want to shop for. And I think we both just really want to watch that grow. Of course, the podcast, we are loving the podcast so much. It's really natural to us. So just kind of watching those two grow and then getting to meet our clients for hair and makeup. So
yeah, I think we are putting some big actionable items into play over the next probably 6 months, getting this boutique set up so that it starts really taking off and kind of getting it to be running itself in a sense. Right now we're just in such learning mode that it's like, oh, that's how I issue store credit for a customer. You know what I mean? Like these little baby things.
Yeah.
And then, really getting that podcast to the next level, getting it to be monetized. And then keeping with our clients right now. They're the reason why we're able to really go and do all of these other things. So making sure those relationships are really secure and keeping that business kind of where it's at.
I love that. And, one of the things that you brought up at the beginning and, at the end, so we kind of had a full circle moment. It's just that you're figuring things out as you go. You are literally, you don't have to have a full plan of action. You don't have to know how every step of it's going to go. You just have to be willing to explore it and learn more when you get there. And I think that's a really fun way to end a full circle moment with this podcast. But I'm so grateful you two were able to jump on, and I'm looking forward to connecting. If you are in the Charlotte area, or even if you're not and you want to drive really far, that's fantastic and amazing, because we're going to do the Best Year Yet live podcasting event January 13th, 4 to 6 p.m. And the ticket includes beer, wine, and charcuterie. And I am still...
That's a steal for sure.
$20. That's 20 more than a night out. And it includes that.
Absolutely.
Connecting with other awesome women and having a good time with Charisse and me and Casey Johnson.
I'll be there in spirit.
We're going to make you zoom in from Australia, right? Yeah. So, awesome. So where can people connect with you? I'll put everything in the show notes, but just in case they're not wanting to read, where can they connect with you?
So, Instagram is LookLove Babes. TikTok is also at LookLove Babes. Where else are we?
Shop is shoplooklove.com. Beauty is looklovebeauty.com. I think that's everything.
I know, we're like, and on Spotify, our podcast is Look Love Explains It All.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Did you say that?
No.
Rounded it out.
That's perfect.
Somewhere in there. But thank you again, ladies. This was so much fun. And make sure to check them out. They're so much fun, fantastic. And you're going to want to get on all their things. So
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so good to meet you.
So good meeting you. Thanks for listening. Make sure to get a copy of my latest book, Rock Your Comeback, The Down to Earth Guide to Reclaiming Your Power, just about everywhere books are sold. Join the Comeback Club for exclusive access, masterclasses, and more. And I always love to know what you think, so make sure to shoot me a DM or leave me a review. Thanks for listening to the Rock Your Comeback podcast. I hope you're feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to take on the world. Now go step back into your power. The world's been waiting for you. But first, if you could, leave me a review or share with a friend. Thank you.